Well, good morning and welcome back to the Sarah Berry Show. If this is your first time listening, welcome. This is episode number 13, and oddly enough, I am recording this on December 13th, 2021. It'll be airing a little bit later, but I just thought that was kind of strange. This is episode 13 on the 13th. And for those of you that have been listening before, and this is not your first time, welcome back. I have just a short little message for you today. And sometimes I spend a lot of time prepping and planning for these podcasts, especially when it's with an interview with a guest, which if you haven't caught any of those yet, I've had some pretty amazing people that I've gotten to talk to so far. And then sometimes the message that I decide I want to share kind of comes out of the blue or in a place that we least expect. And that is exactly what happened to me today. I knew the minute that I got home from dropping my kids off from school, I wanted to hit record and just reach out to you with a message about gifting. Now, you're probably hearing that in lots of capacities on TV, on the radio. Every store that you're going into is all about gift giving at this time of the season. But I witnessed something this morning that just seemed to have this way of bringing things back into focus for me. So any of you moms out there that participate in the morning drop-off routine at your kids' school, can be sometimes a stressful thing. And I often kind of question who actually attended driving school more when I am in the school drop-off line than I probably do any other place other than maybe driving in a big city somewhere. But it can be a little bit, everybody's in a hurry. We're trying to get out the door. Who forgot their lunch? Who needs this? Hurry, hurry, hurry. It can be kind of this crazy, just rush to get everybody's day started. But today I had this amazing experience that I just felt like you needed to know. Somebody needed to know. So there is this amazing lady that is a crossing guard at this crosswalk that we drive by every morning. And for anybody that's local to Rock Springs, Wyoming, and you've driven up Summit Drive, you are going to know exactly who I'm talking about. Her name is Lindsay. I barely know her. She's just, an acquaintance, but somebody that I have seen every day for, let's see, this would be 9 years that I've been taking my kids to school in this neighborhood. And she's just this kind spirit that is not just a crossing guard. And if you drive for a solid week to and from on this street and you see her, it's not difficult to see. She's kind. She does her job. She's always the first one there in the morning and the last one to leave after everybody's gone to school. But it's just the way in which she does her job that makes it more than just a job. And what I mean is, of course, there's hundreds of little kids coming and going, and most people are pretty respectful and careful of that intersection, but she is just so cautious to make sure that all these little kids get across the street. But that's not all she does. She waves at everybody, every car, every kid, every person out exercising that morning, everybody walking their dog or riding their bike. And she doesn't even know them, but she makes an effort to wave and genuinely wave like you are the only car on the road every morning. So if you've driven by and you've seen Lindsay, she's going to wave at you. And I see around Christmas time, it actually really warms my heart that there's lots of families that drive this intersection every day that stop a little longer in the month of December, and the windows get rolled down. And I can't imagine how much coffee or hot chocolate this girl gets to drink because people have started giving back. And as adults, I hope that we're looking for opportunities to give back to people like that. But there was something that happened this morning that was just amazing to me. It was her regular routine of walking this little pack of kids across the street. And like I said, she's very cautious and always makes sure they get where they need to go and that everybody's safe. But there was this little tiny boy. And you've all seen a little kid like this where the backpack is bigger than they are. And if I had to guess, he could not have been more than a first grader, but I bet he was a kindergartner. He was this little tiny boy and he was walking by himself, and he happened to be the only little kid in the crosswalk. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching this, transaction happen like it does every day. But she talked to him. She gave him a little hug, a little pat on the back, and you could tell it was the best part of his morning. And when he got all the way across the street and she was still watching, I don't want to say any normal little kid, but the majority of people that cross her crosswalk after they've left, her presence, they keep going. But this little kid turned around and waved, and he stopped and he made sure that she saw his wave. Now, he couldn't be more than 5 or 6 years old. And what Lindsay did for him, you could just see what that did for his day. He was so grateful, but he took the extra time to turn and show his gratitude back. And I have not ever seen a child do that. So what was such a common thing that I've gotten used to seeing every day in Lindsay, it just goes to show with the consistency and the love that she does every day, it's impacting people as small as 5 or 6 years old. And that meant something to that little boy, enough to where he turned around and showed gratitude back. And that is the kind of gift that I hope that we are all giving in some capacity this season. And that is the message in my podcast today. I think it is so easy to get caught up in what seems like a frenzy that starts around Halloween now, or just shortly after, this crazy commercialization of Christmas. And maybe you don't celebrate Christmas, and that's okay too, but it is something that's almost impossible to avoid, the way that there's so much emphasis on physical items and gift giving and buying and making sure they have the perfect item under the Christmas tree and creating this whole magical experience and making sure the house is decorated and you're buying the right foods and you're doing all of these things. And slowly but surely, the meaning of it all is slipping away. And my meaning might be different than your meaning, and that's okay. I hope it is. That's what makes life so beautiful, is that we all have a different meaning in what this season is to us. To some of us, it's very sad and it's lonely and it's empty and it's a void of a lot of the people and experiences that maybe we've gotten to celebrate with years past that are no longer with us. And my heart goes out to those people. It goes out to the people that are sad and lonely just because they're sad and lonely and they don't know why. And my heart goes out to those people too. My heart goes out to the people that are in convalescent centers somewhere that nobody comes to visit. And loneliness, to be around people and to be alone, can be the most lonely experience of someone's life. And my heart goes out to those people too. So the message that I want to give you in this Christmas season is find the joy. Try to beat back the loneliness and the sadness and find ways, if you know that someone is experiencing these, to lift them, to be that crossing guard that's just there consistently every day and bringing just the tiniest bit of joy in a wave, in a hug as they pass by you, or just words of encouragement and a, hey, glad to see you today message. So 3 things. Number 1, find something that you're good at and then share it. You guys, we are all gifted. We are all gifted in so many different ways. And let's just take a minute to shout out to the bakers at this time of the season. Thanks and no thanks to you. You are the reason that we all have these New Year's resolutions to lose 10 pounds after January 1st. But you're sharing, and I love. So share at my house. If you've baked anything, bring it on over. I love to taste all of your goodies. Some of you are musicians. And let me ask you this, whatever happened to Christmas caroling? Why did we do away with going door to door? Now, that is a gift I don't have. And you probably would ask me to go right back home if I stopped and knocked on your door. But maybe you have the gift of music. Share it. Go to that same convalescent center and share it with those people that may not have anybody coming to visit them. Go to a children's hospital and take your guitar. I know with COVID and things, it's much more difficult to access some of those places, but there's always a window. You can always stand outside. Number 2, gifts don't have to be purchased, wrapped, or be physical items, or things that you get in a store or in those brown boxes that say Amazon on the outside that just magically appear on our doorstep. I know I'm telling you guys all of these things that you already know, but sometimes just hearing it again brings things back into focus. It does not have to be a physical item. In fact, I was talking to my boys about thinking about ways that they can gift of themselves in ways that don't involve any type of money or transaction that way. Maybe shovel the neighbor's driveway for the entire month of January and make it kind of fun and be like the secret snow elf that just shows up and the snow disappears. And maybe they don't even know who it is, because sometimes, a lot of times, most times, the best gifts that we give are ones that nobody even knows who the giver is. And you go away feeling good at the end of that gifting as well. And then give yourself the gift of presents. It's the season of giving, so I invite you to give yourself a gift too. And this, I think a lot of times we give advice or we put things out into the world that really and truly we need to hear ourselves. And I think this one rings especially true for me this season. I'm a mom and a wife, and I'm running a business, and I'm trying to be a good friend and neighbor and daughter and sister and so many things, like so many of you are trying to be as well in all of your capacities. And it is so dang hard, isn't it? Some days to wear all of those hats, because especially in December, all of a sudden we're wearing a Santa hat too. And there's so much magic and expectation that comes with that. So I'm trying to give myself this third piece of advice, to just give myself the gift of presence. Stop, smell the smells, hug your kids a little extra, watch that extra Christmas movie for the 100th time. Just do some things to slow down and really soak in the moments, because, you know, isn't it funny if you think back on the traditions and the things that you remember about as a kid at the holidays? So much of it, almost most of it, we probably don't even remember what we got for Christmas under the tree. But we remembered when my grandma taught me how to properly roll out gingerbread dough and cut a gingerbread man with a cookie cutter. I'll never forget that. I will always remember, and actually still continue to carry on the tradition of putting out luminarios, which are candles in paper bags. And it is a message and an act that lights the way for the Christ child on Christmas Eve. And it is an old tradition that comes from overseas. And that's a gift that I give to my kids that we try to share with the community every year. So give yourself the gift of time and slowing down and really soaking in and enjoying every moment to the best of your ability. I promise things happen and they get done, and somehow we push through it. But I know that I want to do it with a little more grace and just a little more presence this year than I have done in years past. So I'm going to try to take my own advice on this. And a lot of times we forget or don't recognize that sometimes the gift season is actually, or the beauty of this season comes in the preparation. Because after Christmas morning and all the paper shredded on the carpet and it's all over with, there's a lot of people that experience the letdown after the holidays. So just find joy in the journey of this season. Be present, be with those you love. And if you can't be with those that you love, tell them you love them in lots of ways. Put out a friend request. And I mean, not the kind online. Maybe ask that person to actually go have coffee in person. Call somebody for no reason and spend 10 minutes asking them how they are and what exciting things they see coming for the year 2022. There's just so many ways that we can give gifts this season that don't involve wrapping paper. And I just hope that you'll give yourself the gift of enjoying this season. Now, finally, I want to leave you with one bit of homework, and you're thinking, oh man, Sarah, I thought I'd just get to listen and not do anything, but I promise this is fun stuff. I want you to go look up, it's an older song, but it's probably in my top three Christmas songs of the season that I make sure that I always listen to. And I have actually committed to my boys that I am going to pick up the guitar that I used to play a long time ago, and I have gotten very rusty. But I heard this song and it was just a reminder that that's a gift that I want to learn this year, is how to play the guitar again. But I want you to go look up this song, The Gift by Garth Brooks. And I want you to spend, I don't know, the 2 minutes and 30 seconds or however long the song is to really listen to the lyrics and reflect on what that message is. So with that, I hope everybody has a great Christmas season. I hope you're enjoying all the crazy and the hustle and the bustle, and Merry Christmas to you, Lindsay. If you ever listen to this, your gift happens every day, all year long. Gifts don't have to always happen over the holiday season. It can be on a random Tuesday in August. Just God gave us those gifts, and just make sure that you're sharing them whenever you can. So Merry Christmas to everybody. For anyone that's here that's listening, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. It means a lot. I am a rookie at this. I am still learning. But there's just sometimes that I have a message in my heart and I just want to share it, and you listen, and that's just a big deal to me. So thank you so much for being here. God bless. Merry Christmas. Enjoy. And I will see you and talk to you at the next episode. Have a great Christmas, everybody.